Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so today something a little bit different, not about investing, but on how to save money, which is also very important to get richer. Before we start, I'd like to show you a really brilliant website, especially in the times of COVID. I just found this website a week ago, and especially now that all the countries have different rules of entry. This website is managed by a company that provides this to airlines. So airlines use the services of this company called Sherpa. And here you can just simply edit, insert, for example, what is your passport? So in my case, Netherlands. What's my nationality, or where am I flying from? In this case, Netherlands. And if I'm vaccinated or not. And then automatically this map will adjust and show you the status per country. So what I see in my case of not being vaccinated, that limits my options severely from traveling. As you can see here, for the vaccinated people, it's 71. That is fully open, and for me, it's 22. And if I want to know which countries are fully open, it's green on the map. But for example, if I click here, I can see where I can go without a test and without a quarantine. So basically, traveling like before COVID. I can also see where I can go, but I do need to take a test. That's, for example, these 80 countries. And if I click any country, I will see the individual rules per country. So you can see that you can enter here, and then you can see what do I need. And if I click see details, you can see that if you're unvaccinated, you must have a negative COVID-19 PCR result. So not antigen, for example. So you already know that which kind of test you need. And it's all very, it saves you a lot of time, because otherwise you have to go to websites of embassies and you have to search what is the possibilities or whatnot. So I thought this was a pretty cool website when I found it, and it made my life a lot easier. Okay, so let's jump to the presentation. Do you still see my screen and now my presentation? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I made a small presentation of how I do my traveling. This was a request like many calls ago, I believe. And since then I've made it, and I made it a bit more extensive. So what I would like to show you is travel hacking. And I've thought a lot about travel hacking, and I think travel hacking has a few fundamentals. And basically, if you want to have the optimal result in terms of price, lowest price, then three things are very important. One is the timing, and with the timing I mean when you book it. Two is the search phase, and that's finding the optimal route, the easiest way, so that you don't spend a lot of time searching for it, but that you do use the right tools for this. And three is obviously the execution, and execution comes down to reward systems in which you can compound rewards, really, which I will show in a few slides. So generally, for the timing phase, to get the best price for a flight, it's generally 2 to 3 months in advance. If you go within the 2 months time frame, usually the tickets are priced higher, and if you go further into the future, there's a base fare which is always the same, and usually more expensive than the 2 to 3 months time frame in the future. This is how most airlines price their tickets. So in the search phase, yeah, it comes down to finding your best route, and of course that match your flight dates and the best available carrier. You can even do a selected search on based on a few preferable airlines. And so you don't have to go to the individual airlines of the website. You can just compare them if you use the tools correctly. And the last one is the execution phase, and this is yeah, like I said, stacking multiple reward systems that will exponentially grow your credit and status. And with status, I mean within the airline and becoming like a platinum or silver member or whatever reward system they have. And that usually allows you access to lounges, of course. Yeah, the timing is of course not always possible because of ad hoc change of plans or spontaneous behavior. But when it is possible, however, yeah, it's a #1 tool to lock in a great airfare. This is great when the flexibility is on your side. So the search, yeah, the search phase is king. How do we do that? By using Google Flights, which is the best engine to do this. And there's a lot of cool tricks in Google Flights, which I will show you in a minute. Right now, actually. So if we go to Google Flights, there's a flight engine which allows you to search in multiple ways. Of course, if you know your destination, for example, I'm going from from Amsterdam to London. That's pretty straightforward. You click search, and the cool part comes when you start using the calendar function, which is going to show you the exact price per date. So for example, on the 24th of March, I see it's 39 euros. And then I can book a return to London for 39 euros. If I go further into the future, you can see all the prices per month, per day. And now it's showing for a 7-day trip. Let's say I want to go 4 days. Then it automatically adjusts the price. So for the London trip, obviously there's not so much differences because of competition. But let's say I want to go to Bangkok. Now you will see a lot of price variations. Like for example, 425. This seems to be the lowest fare because in May, you can see everything is 425. And in June also, and then the high season probably starts and the prices are going up. These prices will go down 2 to 3 months in advance booking. So this is, for example, if you know your end destination, this is an easy way to find a good flight fare. And you will automatically get the flights in an overview. And here you can also add filters. So for example, let's say I want to fly on SkyTeam, or I want to fly on a specific airline. It will only show me SkyTeam flights. So if this is, for example, your main reward system you're using, you can easily search for only flights of the SkyTeam, for example. And then here I can find a very good price from the 3rd of April till the 24th of May. Wait a second, it was set to different time. So here I have the 459 flight, or for example, let's take the 441. And now instead of the 900 we just saw, I have the 441 flight. This is, however, with 2 stops. Let's say I don't want to do any stops. I want only non-stop. This will limit the savings, obviously, but you can still see that there's big variations. For example, here on this date you pay almost 1,200 euros, and on this date you pay 740 euros. And once again, you can see this all in the future. You can also limit it to price. So you say, I only want to see flights priced up till 500 euros. It's going to be probably quite difficult for Bangkok in one go. So yeah, in this case, you don't have any results. But even cooler thing of Google Flights that I really like is that you can find an open end. And this you do by, sorry, I will put it back to English. 1 second. This is what I really like, because if you don't, if you just feel like, okay, I'm going somewhere, but let's just find something. I won't put any destination here. I just click search. And now I get a map showing all the prices per destination. So here in the entire overview, I can see where I can go for which price. So for example, you can see that Dublin is very cheap in the days that I just selected. But let's say I want to go 10th to 17th of April. Now everything will adjust again. And then you can see cheap flight to Frankfurt, expensive flights to this part of the world. But you can also zoom out. And then I will also get my flights to America here. And now I have intercontinental flight prices. So here you have, for example, New York, 506 euros. So this is pretty cool, I think. Easy way to find something cheap, something new. And what else you can do with this is also, of course, change it to one-way. Now I get one-way flight prices. So there's just a single journey somewhere. And then yeah, you basically get the same results. And you also get once you select something like Lanzarote, it will show you the flights under it. Yeah, there's some more things, more complicated things you can do with this as well, with Google Flights. But this is not the main function to really use it for, but it is pretty cool. You can also do a multi-city trip. Like let's say I want to go from Amsterdam to New York, and then I want to fly back out on Las Vegas to Amsterdam. Then I can also find prices this way. And then the calendar works a little bit differently because you're changing these dates. So here you don't get the price overview, which is a bit annoying, but then again, yeah, you could check it manually, or you can put this one back to one way. And then I get my price overview again, so I can search what is the cheapest one way to New York. And of course, I can use my filters again. Yeah, this is also handy for if you have an airport in nearby and you want to know which routes do they offer. So again, I have to go back to the start for a sec. So let's say I want to know where I can fly from Eindhoven Airport. This is a city in the Netherlands. Now, to see all the overview of routes, you put this on flexible date. You say trip within the next 6 months, and then done. And now I see the cheapest flight in the upcoming 6 months from this airport. So that's Krakow for €9. The huge price of €9 for flying 1,500 kilometers. So that's pretty cheap, I think. Or €8 to London is even cheaper than Krakow. Yeah, and then also I can scroll all over the map. And here I have €66 to Istanbul. I think that's pretty cheap. Or 14 to Bucharest. Yeah, this is basically what you can do with Google Flights. Any questions about that?
What date is that? $9? That's really cheap. $9.
This
How
one?
did you get that? Yeah.
Yeah, so I put a one-way ticket and I put my departure airport here, and I put it on trip in the next 6 months. And then it shows the lowest fee it can find in the next 6 months for a one-way ticket from Eindhoven to, for example, Krakow. Now, if you want to see what is the date when you can go, you just click it. And then you get flights from Eindhoven. And then here you see the €9 fare. Yep. And if you click that, it will get you to a new overview. And it will show you that it's on Saturday, 11th of June. And here's the €9.
Without baggage. And then they charge you €100 baggage?
Yeah, no, they usually charge like €7 for that or something, or €10. Wizz Air. With KLM, for example, the baggage is included, but that's 175 euro. But this is like 7 euros for a one-way trip or so. So it's still 16 to fly one way. And then again, if you want to make a return out of it, you just switch this to return. Now it will keep that date, the 11th, and then you can play around with your return. So for example, it already showed me that if I return on Wednesday the 15th, I pay 26 for a round trip to Krakow. I think I can't even take a train from here to Utrecht for that price. And that's 40 kilometers away. So it's pretty funny.
So is that because you selected in the next 6 months?
Yeah. Yeah. You can also do 3 months, next week, next month. You can all vary this. And then another cool option that I forgot about. So you can track this price. So you can put tracking on. And now it will add to the flight tracking. So now I was already following these flights, but now it's following this flight price for me for 26. And every time it goes lower, I will get an email in Google and says, hey, your price has changed for your flight. And then you can just keep tracking it. I usually do this when flights are expensive, but I would really like to go on those dates. And I track the price. And then you will see after certain times, it will go down, it will go up, down, up, down, up, down, up. These prices change constantly. This is especially handy if you have like a trip very far in the future, and then you wait for till the moment you can lock in the lowest fare. Okay, back to my presentation. If there's no other questions about Google Flights and the use of it. No.
So yeah. quick question. When you, I see you do this all with economy. Let's say if you want to fly business class, the same parameters, the same system to do that?
I've never looked at that, but there might be a filter.
Is there any any other approach? Let's put that way.
I understand what you mean. You want to look for the business class fares, yeah.
Oh, I see.
It's right next to round trip.
Yeah, on top.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, you can change first class. That's not possible from Eindhoven, but from Amsterdam for sure it is. Do something.
Or I think maybe business is easier.
Maybe to Abu Dhabi. But yeah, I can change it to business. But yeah, you have the first class prices. So let's see how much that changed. Yeah, that's always 4,477. And business. Now I have business. Yeah, so it's possible also. Which is pretty nice, I think. Okay, so that's the search phase, and we already had the timing phase. The timing phase is 2 to 3 months in the future for the best fares, usually. Then we have the execution phase when you actually book the flight. So what I do is I have a few favorite airlines in which I have a membership or a mileage system. So what I do is I stack them on top of each other. Usually travel is a flight plus a hotel is the main things that you book. And then when I book the flight, I will make sure that my reward that I get for booking the flight is connected to my hotel platform, which I book, for example, booking.com, and vice versa. When I book on booking.com, I get a reward of in the form of a flight credit. This is, for example, possible on wizzair.com. So this is an airline that I use quite a lot because it's very cheap flying in Europe. Then I go to their website and I book hotels through their search engine. So let's say whatever, or something. Now it just connects me to the interface of booking, but it's in partnership with Wizz. So if I book a hotel here now, I will get, for example, 38 euros Wizz Air credits to fly with. So the credits for my hotel booking go to my airline, and I get there the credits to book on the next one, and then I have 38 for the next flight that I do. And the idea is to connect as many systems to each other. So if you go back to my presentation. So this was my example. I take a Wizz Air membership of 30 euros for 1 year, and that gives me a discount of 10 euros per single journey. After 2 trips on Wizz Air, I've already gained my membership back, so I have that membership now. Then I use Google Flights to find the best fare and lock in the discount. With that, I've saved that 20 euros that it gives me from the membership. Then I book a hotel trip via wizzair.com and I collect the 5% cashback in the form of flight credit. And then you have saved 5% here as well. Then, for example, I pay the hotel with my American Express, and my American Express is connected to my other favorite airline carrier. In this example, KLM. So when I pay with American Express, I get miles for KLM. And then on KLM, I'm also saving money. Also, when I book that hotel, I get a credit on Wizz Air. So I have many layers then connected to each other of payment systems and of platforms that I use. So in that case, I've got like 3 rewards. One is the flight discount. The second reward is the 5% flight credit that goes to my flying account at Wizz Air. And the third one is for paying with American Express is mileage at KLM. Yeah, there's many more out there. One that I like is crypto.com. If you use that for paying and for booking, they give you free crypto, crypto, so you get a cashback. You can also stake them with your crypto, giving you a higher status. So let me show that website. No, the website looks fucked. Okay, whatever, I will scroll down.
Do you actually have that credit card?
I have this one, yeah. No. So if I pay with this, they give me cash back in the form of crypto. Plus, they also give you lounge access. It's a one-time payment you do to them. I can't remember how much it was, but then you have the card, and it gives you access to all the lounges all over the world. Plus, if you pay with that card, you can get crypto from them. So there's a pretty good reward system on it. You can use it for much more, but I didn't. I just use it for payments, so that I get that crypto.
So do they have a referral incentive?
Might be. I'm not sure.
Well, no, the reason I'm asking is, let's say if I want to get this card now and you would refer to me, would you get that extra? So would you mind posting that and refer so that you can get some cash back or whatever they give you?
Yeah, if they have a referral system, I will definitely do that. Otherwise, you can just use this company.
Yeah.
But you can get a lot of different perks with this card. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it looks very interesting.
Especially the lounge access is genius, because you don't have to be a member. Usually you get like a certain type of lounge with every airline, and they don't have it at every airport. But with crypto.com, you get access to all the lounges of all the airlines without having to be a premium member on every airline. So that's pretty good, I think. Yeah, that's it. This is the 3 main things that I use for my travel and to make it cheaper and to get rewards. So a bit of a short presentation, but I hope it helped. You can always ask me if you want a demo again, or I can help you with a search or whatever. Feel free to ask me.